What is going on, everyone? Phil here, and it's time for another epic episode of DSP Tries It.
DSP Tries It.
And today we have a very special episode because I've been evolving my setup ever since like December. It's now March to the next year. Everything just keeps improving. And today, as you can see, I have the food next to me. And for the first time ever, I present to you, are you ready for this, ladies and gentlemen? The food cam, where you'll be able to see everything that I'm about to have on DSP Tries It up close. So let's investigate all three different things that we're going to taste test today. First off, a nice appetizer. The jalapeno cheesy bites, all right? They look pretty good to me, and they're pieces of jalapeno with mozzarella cheese stuffed inside of like a pizza dough with a ranch dipping sauce. So we're going to try those out first as the starter. Then we've got the epic stuffed crust custom-made pizza. My wife chose the ingredients for this one. We've got spicy Italian sausage. We've got the aroma tomatoes, and we've got a camera that's freezing. So I'm going to have to refresh the camera. At least the camera just froze at a pretty nice angle. I don't know why this camera keeps doing this, for the record. It's done it multiple times today. Want me to fix that? Here, I'll go. We'll go back to this one while I try to unplug and replug it. Stupid thing. I literally just did a whole stream of Call of Duty with no issues. I moved my table into position for this, and now the camera's gone off twice already. So hopefully we can get this to fix itself. I don't know why it keeps doing this. It's angering me. But let's see if we can now get it to realign. Let's see if we can get this to refresh. Ready? There we go. Okay. Back to the food cam. Hopefully it doesn't turn off again. All right. So again, epic stuffed crust with spicy Italian sausage, Roma tomatoes, and olives. Okay. Then we have one thing, I've never even tried this or this before, the New York style pizza, just pepperoni. Okay. So we're going to be taste testing all three of these today here on DSP Tries It from Papa John's. The Papa John's Ninja Turtles Pizza Party, because we actually played a Ninja Turtles mode in Call of Duty today. And so I said, why not do a pizza party? All right. Let's start off with the jalapeno bites. Again, it's supposed to be mozzarella cheese jalapenos in a pizza dough, and you dip it in the ranch sauce. Okay. So let's give it a go. Let's see if it's any good. I've never had these before. Let's open the ranch sauce. Olives are gross. That's ridiculous. Olives are delicious. How dare you say that? Okay. So let's now give one of these a bite and see what it tastes like. Ready? That's good. Very tangy jalapeno. Does it have heat? Yes, it does. It has heat to it. It's a hot but tangy jalapeno. The cheese is good with it. And the dough is fresh and chewy. It's dusted on the outside with that flour that you would expect on pizza dough. It's actually quite good. I'm actually going to dip it now in the ranch sauce and see, does it taste any better when dipped in the ranch sauce, okay? Wow. I'm not going to lie. That's really good. So these are the cheesy jalapeno bites or cheesy jalapeno balls. I don't know exactly what they're called. They're really good. Now, they also have a chicken parmesan version that's supposed to come with a marinara sauce you dip them in. And I think there's an Oreo cookie version for dessert. This is a great appetizer, in my opinion. I would recommend this for sure if you're looking for a good appetizer. There they are up close. Look at that. Delicious, okay? Try them. Not bad at all. Now, continuing on. By the way, I will do shout outs for contributions during this show. FYI. I just got a tip. Let's take a look. $1.11 tip. Poem for you. Pasta pizza up inside. Oh, I'm not reading the rest of that. It's disgusting. Thanks for the dollar tip, though, whoever that was. All right. So, excuse me. That was a close one. All right, so now we're gonna try some pizza. Now, for the record, I've already had the epic stuffed crust pizza. All right, just not this kind. I have had it before though. So, all right, let's try a piece of this. Let's try it. All right, this is the epic stuffed crust, spicy sausage, olives, and aroma tomatoes. Okay, let's give it a go. Here we go. They call it epic stuffed crust. I don't know why. I don't know what's so epic about it. So if you're Italian and from the East Coast, you always fold your pizza to eat it. Ready? Mmm. Hmm. Hmm. Okay. So I'm going to be honest with everyone. The first few bites, I didn't even taste any sauce. I tasted cheese. The first thing I tasted was actually the olive. Then I started tasting the Roma tomato. I don't think this sausage is very flavorful, nor do I think it's spicy. It really didn't stand out. Then when I got closer to the crust, all of a sudden I started getting mouthfuls of the sauce. So it looks like they actually don't put much sauce at the bottom of the slice. It's mostly to the top. Let's try the actual cheese in the stuffed crust, okay? Hmm. Hmm. I'm honestly not sure how I feel. I'm going to finish it. Hmm. It was okay. I didn't like it as much as I thought I would. I think I had this like when they first debuted this epic stuffed crust like 4 years ago, 2021. I'm pretty sure I had it. I think I had it right over there sitting in that office chair in front of my computer with a low quality camera. I told you guys that I like loved it. I don't love it. Okay, I don't, to be honest here. So I think number one, The toppings just don't have great flavor. I think the Roma tomato and the olive stood out, but sadly, I don't think that the sausage is spicy, nor does it have much flavor. The sauce was all near the edge, and the sauce tasted good, but there's not enough of it, I feel, on there. This crust is dry, which is good. I don't want a greasy, gross crust when I'm eating stuffed crust pizza. They didn't, you can get it with that. They could get the garlic one where they're going to paint it with that garlic butter, but I didn't want that, all right? The cheese inside is okay. There's not a heck of a lot of it, as you can see. There's a little bit of cheese in the crust, but not a ton. I almost feel like this would be better if you dip it in marinara sauce. Like first you eat the bottom, then you take the crust, and you're dipping the crust in a marinara sauce to give it added flavor. Then I actually think it would be better. But they didn't give us any marinara sauce. So I think that's just okay, to be honest. It's not great. All right. I'm a little disappointed. I thought it was going to be better. Now, this is the New York style from Papa John's, and I just got pepperoni. That was it. All right. So I'm going to say a couple of things before we eat it. Some observations I want to make. Okay. Observation number one, they put a lot of pepperoni on there, and I'm happy about that. That's a lot of pepperoni. Observation number two, that crust is not New York style. Anyone who's had New York style pizza or East Coast pizza in the United States would tell you that crust is too thin, and it actually looks like it's a little bit overdone, like it's hard. It should actually be thicker than that, and it should have a crispy outside but a chewy inside. It doesn't look like it's going to have that, okay? Now, it doesn't mean anything about the flavor, but I'm just telling you, I come from the East Coast of the United States. I've had hundreds of authentic East Coast pizza pies, and I'm a little skeptical about this one, all right? So let's dig in. Here we go. It is still foldable, but definitely the crust is hard, all right? Okay. Mmm. There is an immediate difference between this one and the Epic Stuffed Crust, and I'll tell you in a moment. Oh, yes. Let's keep going. Mmm. One more bite. Yummy. That is a good attempt to replicate New York pizza. There's some distinct differences, and I'll tell you what they are in a second. But the very first difference I can tell you, and it's a good one, there is way more sauce on this pizza than there is on this Epic Stuffed Crust. I would argue there's twice as much sauce on this New York style than there is on there. It tastes good. You taste that tomato flavor with every single bite. And because they covered it with the pepperonis, you're getting big mouthfuls of flavor every single time you bite it. That's much better, in my opinion, than that right there. That's like, I'm not even exaggerating. That's twice as good as that right there. Like, whenever I order from Papa John's moving forward, I'm going to order a New York style pizza. That is much better. Okay? Now, the one thing I will say, I got to taste the crust. Okay? Hmm. The crust is okay. It's just okay. Okay, allow me to explain with a better camera angle. So, that crust, as you can see, is very thin. It is crispy. Okay? And that's fine. But truly authentic East Coast pizza has a crunchy outside, but a chewy inside. It actually should have a little bit of a char flavor to it. This crust does not have a char flavor at all. I don't taste any char on it whatsoever. So that's a little disappointing. Okay? This crust is pure crispy, no chewy. And that's a disappointment. I'm expecting that signature chewiness, and there is no chewiness in the crust. It is just crispy. So I would say this is an interesting attempt to simulate or copy New York style. The whole slice itself is good. Okay? There is one missing element from this New York style pizza that they did leave out at Papa John's. There's no actual pieces of tomato. If you eat authentic East Coast pizza, you're going to get chunks of tomato in the marinara. You're going to get that flavor coming through, that acidity. And although this actually does have more sauce, the sauce doesn't taste as authentic. I wish, but they're trying. I would argue this is a pretty good fast food attempt at New York style. And let me tell you, this is leaps and bounds better than years ago when I had the Domino's pizza New York style like this. That was awful. No lie, I took the piece and I went like this, and it just dripped grease all over the place. And it was too salty, like way over salted. This is a good level of seasoning, of toppings, of sauce. Just the crust is slightly off, and there's no chunks of tomato, but it's still good. And like I said, every time I go to Papa John's from now on, I'm going to order a New York style pizza because that is way better than that for sure. Okay? We got a couple shout outs to do. There's a $2 tip that came in from Dragon Ball Evolution. Number one, the New York style one looks very burnt. I think you should get a refund and not good quality for a reward. Happy Thursday. It actually isn't as burnt as it looks. I will agree with you. It did look like it was burnt, but as I ate it, it didn't taste like it was overcooked. But the crust definitely is not good enough. The crust is too crunchy, too thin, and doesn't taste like authentic crust. Okay? And we've got a $2.22 tip. In a few hours, we'll have DSP Sharts it. That's true. If I don't make it to the toilet, we will have that. Okay? Well, thank you for that. All right. Hopefully I'll make it. Okay, so now what I'd like to do is go through them all again. All right, and then I want to give you my actual ratings. Okay? Here we go. Here we go. So once again, we're going to do the cheesy jalapeno bites appetizer. This time, I'm just going to go straight into the dipping sauce. I'm not going to have a bite without it. And for the record, now this food's been here for over half an hour. It's still soft. It didn't turn into a rock. Like some of these places, I'm going to tell you right now, Pizza Hut. If you don't eat Pizza Hut pizza or anything from Pizza Hut piping hot, when it gets cold, it becomes a rock. And if you try to heat it up later, it's like eating stones. It's terrible. This actually is still soft. So that's a good sign of the freshness of the ingredients. Okay. Here we go. Wow. I like this. I really do. The ranch complements the heat that you get in the jalapeno. That's really good. The only bummer, look what just happened. some jalapenos fell out into my sauce. Oh, that's so disappointing. I'm certainly not going to fish those out with my fingers. All right. That's actually good. I like those. All right. Now it's time for my second helping of the epic stuffed crust with spicy Italian sausage, Roma tomatoes, and olives. Here we go. Second helping, folks. I cannot taste the sausage. I really can't taste the sausage. It's sad. I want to, but I can't taste it. One other thing about stuffed crust pizza, too, that's a little annoying. You notice how I had to fold it to eat it? If you don't fold it, the slice will flop and go like this. And now you can't eat it without two hands to try to prop it up. You have to fold it to have it not do that. I don't know why they haven't solved that problem yet. Like literally every stuffed crust I've ever had, Domino's, it's all the same problem. I don't know why they don't find a way to fix it. Mm. I had to eat that far. Now I'm tasting sauce. See? I had to eat that far to taste the sauce on this pizza. That's not a good thing. On the New York style, I taste it in every single bite, but not in this one, not in the stuffed crust. Okay, let's finish this, and then we're going to go for the New York, and then I'm going to give you my ratings. Yeah, it needs a sauce. It desperately needs a sauce to dip it in. Try the ranch. It's all right. It's all right with the ranch. I want marinara. That would be perfect with marinara, but they didn't give us any. So if you're going to order the cheesy, epic stuffed cheese crust pizza from Papa John's, order a thing of marinara sauce. You won't regret it. Trust me. Yeah, it's just okay. The problem is the cheese isn't seasoned, so it doesn't stand out. It just tastes like, oh, they threw some cheese in there. Big deal. You want something else out of that. Yeah. All right. Okay. Now the New York style. The main event. All right. Here we go. The big boy. This is the biggest slice of pizza that I had. Look at the size of it. It's huge. Okay. For the record, both pizzas are larges because you might wonder what size are those? Large. If you get medium or small, the slices will be significantly smaller. Okay. All right, here we go. Yeah, nice fold. Mm, yummy. I really like this one. Mmm. This is delicious. Man. Mmm. Every bite, I'm getting crispy pepperoni. I love that. And by the way, this is the regular pepperonis. They have an ultimate pepperoni pizza that apparently has 2 to 3 layers of pepperoni. This is just one layer of pepperonis and it's good. I didn't order the insane one and pay extra. I would argue you don't have to. This is very good. Good enough. Mm. All right, well, let's review while I eat. Okay? I really like the cheesy jalapeno bites. I think that's a great appetizer. It's something unique. The jalapenos are both tangy and spicy and fresh. The dough is great and doesn't get hard right away because it's cold. I do recommend it with a dipping sauce. Maybe I would have liked it better with marinara. The ranch is fine. I'm going to give these, surprisingly enough, a 3.25 out of 5. I don't think they're bad at all. They're better than I thought they were going to be. So 3.25 out of 5 for the cheesy jalapeno bites. The epic stuffed crust pizza, the custom one I made, which was spicy Italian sausage, Roma tomatoes, and olives. I really couldn't taste the sausage at all. All right. The Roma tomatoes and olives were fine. It did not have enough sauce whatsoever. There was only sauce near the crust. And sadly, the stuffed crust was a little bland. I felt like it would have been better with a marinara sauce to dip, but they don't offer you a sauce with that pizza. Okay? So I'm going to give this a 2.25 out of 5. Also, do you want to know how much this cost? Are you ready for this? This pizza, large pizza, stuffed crust, $30. I'm not kidding. $30 for a large stuffed crust pizza at Papa John's. And that's from their website. That's not me using a delivery app that jacked the prices up. That's the actual price. So you know, okay? Pretty insane when you think about that, right? And then the large New York style pepperoni pizza. Mm. Some grease hit the plate there. So, loaded with pepperoni, even though it's just the regular pepperoni. Sauce in every bite. Flavor in every single bite. Large foldable pieces. But two negatives. The crust is just crispy. There's no char on it whatsoever. No char is a no-go for me. And it doesn't have the bite, the crunch, and the signature center chewiness of an authentic Italian East Coast pizza crust. Okay? And no chunks of tomato anywhere on the slice. Definitely an authentic Italian pizza, East Coast style, would always have some kind of chunks of tomato on the slice, and this doesn't have that. However, For a fast food pizza, it's good. And I will order the New York style pizza from Papa John's every time I order from Papa John's moving forward in my life, because this is actually quite good for fast food pizza and is better than the New York style that I've gotten from Domino's, for sure. Okay. All right. Let's finish it. I'm going to give you my score. Mm. Not authentic. It would be cracking and breaking and leaving pieces on the plate, but having a chewy inside if it was authentic. This is just kind of tough, and it's not the right consistency at all for a New York style crust at all. Okay. Overall, I'm not disappointed. I mean, take a look. Oops. Overall, I'm not disappointed. I ate a lot. And I definitely think this camera helps. This is going to help a lot more with different kinds of cuisine where it's harder to pick up and eat. But instead, like, have it sitting here and I can have a fork and, put it into my mouth. It'll be easier to do it that way, right? Soups. I can actually eat soups on camera now and stuff like that if I want, right? That's pretty cool. So, out of everything I ate, the New York style was much better. New York style pizza, 3.75 out of 5. And the price was much less. The New York style large was $22.50, and they had a coupon that knocked off like $5. So it ended up being like $17.50 for the large New York style, as opposed to the $30 for the stuffed crust. That's insane. Okay? So overall, the Papa John's Ninja Turtle Pizza Feast was successful. I like the bites. I think the bites are great. I think that the New York style is good. But I don't know about the epic stuffed crust. I think I liked it better last time. Maybe last time I was just really hungry and I didn't have anything better, so I just thought it was good. But 4 years later, I actually don't think that the stuffed crust is nearly as good as I thought it was last time. So, all right, ladies and gentlemen, I hope you enjoyed this episode of DSP Tries It.
DSP tries it.
And now that you have seen the capabilities of my new setup, right? I would like to hear your thoughts. What kind of stuff would you like to see me do for DSP Tries It moving forward? I can do way different kind of stuff now. I could do like fork and knife food. I can do soups. I can do all kinds of stuff that previously would have been very hard to do because now I have a side table and a new camera and everything here. Let me know your thoughts, and thank you for watching. Until next time, this is DSP saying bon appetit here on DSP Tries It.